Hey guys, it's Michelle.
And Daniel.
So, we finally decided what we wanted to focus on our podcast on. So, we wanted to do a news podcast. And I think that with this news podcast, we can go from, we're going to talk about political things, general news, some fun news, so sports, any type of like topic you could think of. We're not limited to one thing, so we really just want to give our perspective and general overview and just our opinion. And we'd love for you guys to share your opinions as well in the comments. But yeah, let's get into it.
Exactly. Yeah, you pretty much summed it up. And yeah, so also I'm gonna
Don't you want to introduce
sharing.
yourself?
What are you gonna talk about? Me?
Yeah, because I said
What
I'm
person?
Michelle, and then you said I'm Daniel.
Yeah, I'm Daniel. That's all you need to know, guys.
So today we wanted to go ahead and talk about the Omicron virus.
No, we're gonna talk about a lot of topics, but that's gonna be one of the topics. We just picked some interesting topics that happened in the past few days.
Yeah.
And wanna just kind of give you guys some information and then just comment about it and talk about it and discuss, debate, and
I hope you guys like our
whatever.
background. We have a little coffee bar set up that I'm really excited about. Just wanted to point that out.
And then you have your matcha green tea, right?
Any matcha fans out there?
Is it matcha green tea or what is it? Can you
It's
explain what you made there?
It's a matcha green tea latte. So basically, it just consists of matcha powder, milk, any type of milk you like. I like just the regular 2% milk, and I put 3 pumps of vanilla syrup, and then you make yourself a similar to the Starbucks matcha. It's really good. He doesn't like it. He thinks it tastes...
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really developed a taste for it. To me, it tastes like spinach a little bit.
I think
Spinach with milk.
The color just messes up with your
Taste buds?
Taste buds,
Okay,
but
I don't know.
I think you do have to develop a taste for matcha. I don't think everybody's a matcha fan, but I like it. And yeah.
Anyways, I'm just drinking some. What is it? Mocha latte.
Mocha latte.
Yeah.
We have these little Keurig pods, and this
You can
is
see from the back. We have the coffee bar there.
We have a little espresso machine and some of the Starbucks syrups and sauces. So we have our little coffee bar. Yeah, getting into the news that we're talking about. I know COVID we're all tired about hearing it. So when we go into COVID, I think we just want to more so give our input and make it a little bit more interesting.
So we want to also not only talk about the downsides, but also, some good news. I don't think a lot of people caught that. But it's an interesting article from, The Hill? Joseph Choi, whoever that is. Shout out to the guy. He's talking about that the EU agency says that Omicron is pushing COVID-19 out of the pandemic phase. So basically what he's talking about in this article, let me just wrap it up for you guys.
As we're kind of talking about this, we just want you guys to know that you'll be seeing kind of like what we're looking at too at the same time, so you're not kind of left out in the dark.
Yeah, this is for all the people listening only through the audio. The people that watching the video will already see the screen right now. But
right.
Yeah,
so
that's a good addition to it. What's happening is that the new variant Omicron, apparently, according to this guy, Marco Cavalieri, he's head of the vaccine strategy for the European Medicines Agency, EMA. So what he's talking about is he's saying, quote unquote, with the increase of immunity in population and with Omicron, there will be a lot of natural immunity taking place on top of vaccination. we will be fast moving towards a scenario that will be closer to endemicity.
Endemicity.
Endemicity, which is basically meaning you are not in a pandemic state anymore. And I never really thought about it like this, and it just clicked to me. It makes sense. I mean, you guys all know that the Omicron virus is just far more fast spreading than the normal COVID-19 virus, the Delta variant, or the other variants out there. So that seems scary at first, but when you think about it, there's this other aspect that the Omicron variant is also not as deadly. The symptoms are rather mild, so that means that you will probably at one point get this virus and have mild symptoms and have natural immunity afterwards. So for all the people who are not vaccinated, they will get their immunity naturally. And well, so of course, if you have a lot of people being naturally immune in a short span of time, you will obviously get easily out of that pandemic
And
stage.
I think at the beginning of the whole COVID situation, they were saying that either a lot of people get vaccinated, or there was more of the population would get the what's it called? I can't think straight.
What do you mean?
More people would get the actual COVID. So if you had a higher percentage of the population getting COVID, then that's when they would, like, when lockdown was going on, they said if it's 60-70% of the population had got COVID, then we have more people having the immunity. And that was in 2020, and I remember that was going on. So now that looking back, now that's actually happening with the Omicron because it's spreading way faster. So that's actually a good thing. So it's not something to, like, I know people are like freaking out. They're like, oh my God, Omicron, like, we're going to go on lockdown again. But if you've been keeping up, we just want to just point that out, that it's not a bad thing.
And that's crazy to realize that, when you realize that so much fear has been put into everybody's minds, that just the fact that there's a new variant, there's a new variant like Omicron already, like,
it just sounds
fear
like
in people's minds, and it's just interesting when you think about it just on a factual basis.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I know I was mistaking it for the Omarion variant. The Omarion variant. TikToks of insert clip.
Hi everybody, this is Omarion. I am an artist, not a variant.
Okay, now we outside.
Anyways, but yeah, we all know that the news, whether it be the left or the right, it's just really just setting everybody up to get scared. You don't look at statistics, and you don't look at, like, factual things. You just look at opinion-based news, and they're both going to have their strong opinions, whether you're a Republican, whether you're a Democrat. It's and I think that they project whatever their opinion is in such a harsh and an abrupt manner that it scares everybody and makes everybody believe what their side is saying. And
I think it's always interesting to see how much you can, how much people actually, how much the factor of fear can influence people. Like how much the factor of you might die. Like you might die also when you drive out of your driveway.
It's
today.
You're taking a chance every day on your life. This kind of reminds me of a lesson my dad used to teach me. Like, you take a chance every day. When people go on a roller coaster, you don't know. You just trust that everything's going to be okay. You don't know if there might be malfunction with the ride, and you might fall off or something. But you just trust that people are doing their job. You trust that everything's okay, and that you'll be fine. You don't go into it thinking, oh, what if I die today? No, you just go about life, you know? So that's what I think about COVID.
Yeah, no, I was also trying to approach a different angle in the sense of, like, how see how much people really want to live, saying like they would do anything to get off this. They would lose their freedom to be able to supposedly live longer, because a lot of people think that they might die from it.
Yeah.
Which of course some people did, and but a lot of people also die from other things. That's my opinion. From other things that are just not as reported. This is just what's on the news right now. But it's interesting how much is there was also. I can't really pull up any sources right now on the top of my head, but I know that there's this study of like when what's it called, oncologists, the people that research about like cancer and stuff like that. Oncologists, I think that's what they're called.
I don't think that's it. I think that's the one that for the women.
No, that's gynecology. That's something else.
Oh, never mind.
Anyways, the people that research cancer and stuff like that. I remember there's not just once. I mean, it happens often that they have new breakthroughs, right? And they say, oh, this new chemotherapy is gonna be better, and then what you actually end up hearing is it's better in a sense it keeps the person alive for 2 more weeks, and that's a breakthrough in that field of research. That's a big deal. 2 more weeks to live just because of this chemotherapy. But it's interesting because of course this chemotherapy and this new study and all this research, there's a lot of money that's been put into it for 2 more weeks to live, and people would still do it. When you think about it, you're like, well, most people will probably just not want to pay all that much just for 2 weeks, but 90% of the people do. Like, a lot of people do. I don't know 90%, but I'm saying like the majority of people would actually do it, and that's what I find interesting. It's like, oh, why would you actually want to live just 2 more weeks? But I guess it's just the instinct that's in you that wants you to really badly survive. That animalic
people are afraid
instinct. And
death.
Of course the fear of death, the fear of not knowing what happens to you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not a believer, whether you are a believer, it's like, I don't think you want to die regardless. You want to keep on living. I think it's just it's an instinct that we're going to fight for our lives, and people will do anything to, yes. I think a lot of people getting this vaccine didn't do research. I think they just did it because they just like trusted the news. They just went and did it, and they're like, oh, this is going to protect me from the virus. Yeah. And now that they're saying, and now later on, that they're saying it doesn't.
It's a perfect narrative. It's a perfect incentive for people to do anything, because if it comes back down to their own health, that's what will make they do almost everything. That's what's the perfect thing, we said initially we didn't want to be too biased, but of course we're gonna have our own opinion. Yeah. And our opinion leans more towards the right side of things.
I think we want to go into like a deeper like context of it, and just kind of really just bring out the...
Yeah. We also want to make you guys understand why we think that way.
Yeah, and make you guys think as well. I think we all have our own thinking process, and maybe some of us think alike, so maybe some of us different point of views. And
if you guys have different point of views, you're welcome, to inform us on the comments and talk about it and discuss about it on a fair basis without any,
I don't think we want to get on here and bash anyone. That's not our motive. Though we may have our strong points of views, I think that we want to keep it open for everyone to be able to come in and comment and feel like they can put in their 2 cents.
For sure. Yeah.
So that was one of the topics. Just talking about Omicron, COVID, and another point of view talking about vaccinations. Now they're trying to push vaccinations on now larger corporations.
Yeah, let me pull up the article.
Was it if you have
that's
a
the
company?
one. Oh,
of-
sorry. Yeah, that was still regarding. I don't have that on here actually.
Oh,
But what you were talking about is, I think that's what you're talking about. You're talking about the
larger
the
corporations.
push from President Biden, who's trying to make
Let's
it
go, Brandon.
mandatory for people to get vaccinated when they work for companies that have more than 1,000 employees. So basically, all big corporations, all the employees should be vaccinated, according to the Biden administration. But the Supreme Court just decided that this is not going through. But the thing is, I don't find the article right now, so I can't really tell you right now on what basis they decided that, to be honest. It's a little bit unfortunate because it would be interesting to know, actually.
Yeah, that would be.
Well, yeah, let me see. Maybe I can find it.
But I don't want to like.
So
talk
let's
and then
see
I
here.
have
That's what it is. Here I have Fox Business article here. Talking about the Supreme Court that blocks Biden OSHA vaccine mandate allows rules for healthcare workers. So, court ruled that COVID-19 is not an occupational hazard, but a universal risk. So that's what their conclusion was. So let's go into it a little bit deeper. So it says the court ruled that OSHA lacked the authority to impose such a mandate because...
Who is OSHA?
You want to know what OSHA is? That's a
Well,
good question.
For the audience that doesn't know what OSHA means.
OSHA means the following.
Occupation Safety and Health Administration.
There you go. What they said. But yeah, no, it was a good point. The court ruled that OSHA lacked the authority to impose such a mandate because the law that created OSHA empowers the secretary to set workplace safety standards, not broad public health measures. Although COVID-19 is a risk that occurs in many workplaces, it is not an occupational hazard at most, the court ruled. COVID-19 can and does spread at home and schools during sporting events from the day-to-day dangers that all face, from crime, air pollution, or any number of communicable diseases. And that's exactly what we were talking about. That's a fair point. That's exactly what we were talking about earlier, is but you always risk something.
You're always
why
in
would you
danger.
Have to specifically go to these people that work at big corporations? Why are they specifically more at risk? And that's exactly what they also said. There's no basis for that. They're not specifically more at risk than others, and that's why you can't just... You're always in danger of something. So I think that's their main point that they just dialed down to. You know, I think that, I mean, I took poli-sci in college, and these judges always look back on history, and you look back on like cases in the past, and you know, there's nothing new under the sun. There's always going to be danger in this world, and we're always going to just live our lives regardless. And it's been proven, and it's a continuous thing. This is not the first disease or virus that's been out there. So there's been, you know, you have to just continue. So I think that was a fair decision on the Supreme Court. Agreed. So coming to our next story for today. So it's talking about, that's our last COVID related story for today.
We'll have a fun one at the end.
So how do you pronounce that? Quebec's, I believe. Quebec's
unvaxxed tax.
Quebec's unvaxxed tax has people rushing to get vaccinated. So that's interesting for me. So basically, they are talking about a tax for people that are unvaccinated, so they want to punish people.
That's
that
bullshit.
Can't be vaccinated. Yeah, I agree.
But that is some hard. That's like going. Are we in the 1950s? Is this segregation? It's like separating now, like the blacks and whites. Now you're separating the unvaxxed and the vaxxed. I'm actually not vaccinated, so I think that's complete BS.
The most interesting for me is to find out what their reasoning is behind that. Like,
what is the reasoning?
Okay, let me see.
And is this something set in stone? Like they're actually going to do it?
I think it's probably just an idea.
I think it's an idea put out there.
So it's Quebec's plan. So to put a significant health tax on unvaccinated people who account for a large share of COVID-19 hospitalizations, quickly drove a rush of new. So it's talking mainly about that the argument is. Look, all these people who are unvaccinated and get hospitalized are taking up the spaces of the people who are vaccinated and are hospitalized. So they're saying they could have just been vaccinated and then they didn't have to be hospitalized. And basically that cost for the healthcare system is what they're trying to get back from those people. I think that's what the narrative. But let me dive deeper into this here.
Basically, your life is not as important as the other people's lives. That's what I'm getting. But also, like, isn't it the same case that vaccinated people are just in danger of getting? I think it's the COVID.
It's the same stupid argument of saying like
it's not a good point.
It's the same argument of saying, dude, if you're eating like shit, if you're eating like crap all day, and you're getting fat. You should actually pay for your hospital bills, and you should not have insurance because you were the cost for it. Yeah, you were the same. It's the same thing. Like you intentionally got fat. You intentionally ate what you shouldn't.
And even that's different because you're actually intentionally doing it. This is a virus thing, but that's segregating. Also, fat people. We're gonna start segregating fat people and skinny people and saying like, no, you did damage to your health, so we're not gonna provide you health.
That's
healthcare.
Basically exactly the same. To me, that's the same argument here, and so I can't really understand the reasoning behind that. I can't really understand it. So the premier says he owes it to the vaccinated population. That's interesting. He says, quote unquote, those who refuse to get their first doses in the coming weeks will have to pay a new health contribution, Legault said Tuesday.
Who's Quebec? Who's Quebec?
Quebec is a city in Canada.
Oh, in Canada, right. Yeah. Oh, so they're saying this is in Canada that's starting.
This is in Canada, yeah. So the majority are asking that there be I think there's a word missing. The majority are asking that there will be consequences. It's a question of fairness for the 90% of the population that have made some sacrifices. We owe them. So he's saying 90% of the population, who's apparently 90% of the population in Canada, is vaccinated. So
Canada,
you owe it to the vaccinated population because they sacrificed their vaccine. What do you think about that?
I think that's just insane. I mean, it goes back to your point. Like, you put your body in danger when you like fat people and when you're skinnier, like you're eating a lot, you're endangering your body, therefore you cause this upon yourself. It's not fair to the skinny people who are actually taking care of themselves, therefore we're not going to provide you health care. It's like it goes back to discrimination. I think to me it's just discriminatory, and so many companies now want to say, oh, we're against discrimination, we're against segregation, and this is literally what they're doing. They're segregating, they're discriminating. So now they're saying now that they don't want to hire you because you're not vaccinated. Before it's like the color of your skin. Before it's like sometimes like if you have tattoos or anything like that. Now it's saying you're not vaccinated. Now we don't want to hire you.
Yeah, I just want to make one point clear. I'm totally not against vaccination. I'm not against it, but I'm also not necessarily for it. I totally I'm fine with people who think vaccination is good for them, and I think these people should be there. And I'm personally vaccinated, actually. Well, a different story, but why I got vaccinated. But the point is that you should have the choice to either do it or not. And that's the issue that I'm having here. It's not that vaccine is bad.
I think that's the problem that everybody has. Like, it's your when somebody's being forced to do something, you want to do it even less. I think it's our rebellious nature, and not only that, but just our freedom and our free will. I mean, God Himself, if you're someone of faith, you know that God gives you free will, and if God Himself gives you free will, why should a human take that free will away from you? Just a regular human, why should he have the ability to be like, no, you're unvaccinated, you have to pay for taxes for being unvaccinated, you can't work here, or else unless you get vaccinated. That's the problem, and that's the issue that so many people are having. It's just their free will and their free choice taken away from them. It's like our voice doesn't matter anymore. It's our freedom doesn't matter. And I think that I have an issue with that. Once again, I agree. I don't have an issue with people believe that they need to get vaccinated. That's your choice. That's fine. But once you force it down somebody's throat and you're forcing them to do it, that's when it becomes an issue. And that's why people are not okay with that.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Trying to pull up that next article. Why not? Give me 1 second.
That's a little bit of a deeper, like I said, it's gonna vary from like some more deeper heated content to like some lighter content.
Yeah. So
What is that?
So that was it. That part is definitely much lighter. So that's
Maybe
an interesting story.
Maybe we should
lightens up the conversation a little bit. So the title of the story is "Man thought he had water stuck in his ear and used a blow dryer. Turns out it was a cockroach."
Oh, that's disgusting. A cockroach is huge.
You just
And I don't know if you guys ever stepped on a cockroach, but they smell so bad.
Oh, they smell bad too.
They smell horrible, and it's just the most disgusting thing.
But just imagine something crawling out of your ear.
That's my fear, that just something crawls in my ear one night.
It took a special couple of seconds to determine the water. Sorry. Just can't click on anything here.
A cockroach in your ear. That's so, like, aren't cockroaches generally pretty big? Wouldn't you, like, notice right off the bat that it's, like,
I don't know. Well, he confused it with something else, I guess.
Wouldn't you feel it crawling around
in your ear?
Quote,
he said, "I should use a hairdryer to dry up the leftover water in my ear." So he was thinking. He had, like, when you shower or you're in the pool and you have like a leftover water in your ear.
Oh yeah, you're like doing the little dance to try to get it out.
Yeah, it sounds like dampened. And what he did is he used a hairdryer for some reason to, I guess, get the leftover water out of his ear. And well, what he found was something else, because obviously the heat probably let the cockroach to like leave the ear.
Was it dead?
And he took the specialist a couple of seconds to determine that the water he thought was blocking his ear was actually a cockroach. There you see the picture.
It's disgusting.
Delicious. I realized that I'd just spent a weekend cooking a cockroach in my head with a hairdryer. how he phrases it.
He had the hairdryer to his ear.
I guess he's been doing it for an entire weekend.
Oh, that's
it made me feel sick instantly.
Oh gosh.
Oh man.
How did it even get in his ear? That's the question.
Did
it even go into like how it got?
Was water, went to a doctor, was told he was fine. Oh, that's actually another point. I went over this. I skipped this here. It said a man who thought it was blocked with water went to a doctor and was told he was fine. So the doctor even thought he was fine.
Oh.
The doctor didn't even notice it.
That's
so probably,
crazy.
I mean, usually they look into your ear, like when somebody's complaining, they have these little,
Yeah, but like how, did it grow or something? Did cockroaches like grow? Like, can they grow that fast, or like that he didn't notice? Maybe it was small when it got in there and then it just grew in his ear.
I don't think they grow so fast though.
Okay, but that's the mystery. How did a cockroach just get in your ear? Isn't that what wax is for? Like the wax in your ears is supposed to protect you from like those little creepy crawlers.
I guess so. I hope so.
I hope I never get a cockroach in my ear.
Yeah.
We just
Okay.
wanted to make it a little bit shorter today. But yeah, guys, let us know kind of, what other genre of topics you'd like us to talk about. We can range from anything. Not typical.
It could
on
be anything, yeah. Yeah, if you like this format, let us know. If you don't like it, let us know too. Make sure you to follow up on us by subscribing, and so you get all the new posts and uploads from us.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll take you guys with us. This journey is pretty much in the beginning.
We're just starting.
Stage, and we're starting and we're trying out things, and we don't know where we're heading to yet. We'll
like every entrepreneur, it's the mindset to start off, and we want you guys to go with us, give us your input, and maybe we'll even do some fun videos, and most of our content will be us like bringing up like news and just talking, and but we could always do some fun content here and there, maybe doing some reviews on different things, but yeah.
Okay, we should have better
we should have an outro.
Oh yeah, let's play the outro.